Since Lebanon's independence in 1943, only 10 women have reached the Lebanese parliament. With each election comes new hope that more women will be elected to fill leadership positions.
لازم المرأة تشارك لها دور سياسي، يعني لازم يكون كل واحد له دور بالمجتمع، مش بس انه الرجال.
Lebanon gained its independence in 1943, and women got their right to vote in 1952. That happened due to a very big civic campaign that happened by one of the oldest women NGOs that is still operating in Lebanon, called the Lebanese Council of Women.
They started demanding, and they were pressuring members of parliament, politicians, to really grant women their political rights on the basis of the principle of equality stated in the Constitution. During that time, from 53 till 72, 3-4 women run. They withdrew before the elections take place. Battles were really tough. The amount of money that you needed to deposit to run was beyond the abilities of women.
In 1963, Mirna Bustani was the first woman elected to parliament. She filled the seat of her deceased father, but only for 6 months. And then in 1975, a civil war broke out and lasted 16 years until 1991. During this period, no parliamentary elections took place.
The war ended in 1991. Naila Mawad was appointed to replace her husband.
She was the only woman representative out of 128 seats. A total of only 10 women ever reached parliament.
All the profiles of these women elected, with the exception of current MP Ghenwa Jalloul, were elected because of the traditional and familial ties, not because really of the political or social affiliations. Mirna al-Bustani was the daughter of a late MP Emil Bustani. Bahia al-Hariri, sister of a late assassinated prime minister. Mahal Asad, sister of a late prominent politician. Nohad Saeed, wife of a late MP. Satrida Jaja, wife of a leader politician. Gilberta Zouane, daughter of a late MP. We can say that Lebanese women parliamentarians have been branded as the woman dressed in black, because historically the most likely way for women to be elected was to replace their husbands or sons or brothers.
After serving in parliament for a number of years, Naila Mouawad and Solange Gemayel, both wives of late assassinated presidents, left their seats for their sons.
Any woman is there to inherit the seat until the male heir comes of age and is ready to assume the position of his father or whatever. They did contribute to drafting law proposals. They did contribute to establishing relations and listening to civil society associations. They didn't have the guts to stand and say, I am with women issues, They were afraid of being accused of being feminist or female activists.
The women that are getting into parliament now are not representative of the women's movement.
The women's movement in Lebanon is a vibrant community of more than 140 organizations lobbying for increased women's participation in political life and for laws on domestic violence, spousal rape, sexual harassment, and the right to grant citizenship to their husbands and children. The Lebanese Association for Democratic Elections, LADE, is an activist organization that encourages women to run for political office. Before recent elections, LADE launched media campaigns.
مش طبيعي إنه يكون 1.5% من البرلمان اللبناني فيه نساء، وفي عنا تقريباً 54% من الشعب اللبناني نساء. ما لازم ينسوا إنه الديمقراطية مش موجودة بلا حقوق المرأة.
We handed out many pamphlets and leaflets. We went out to the press to encourage women to go out. Not just to vote, it's also important for them to actually stand as candidates, to be leaders in civil society.
علي صوتك.
This is part of a TV spot that was aired on 2 TV stations through the municipal elections last year, and it's still being aired this year for the parliamentary elections. It's a general spot.
الحملة اللي صارت بالبوسترات وبالتلفزيونات كتير ناس شافوها، لأنه خاصة إنه هاي البانويات كانت موجودة بكل المناطق اللبنانية، حتى بجرود يعني المناطق اللبنانية، فعملت رد فعل. كتير إجاني اتصالات على البوسترات.
كيف نهارك؟ جيد. It was a good day. Everything is going fine. A lot of people are voting. It's been great.
هي أول مرة تنتخبي؟
أي أول مرة. هلا 21 طبقتهم من شهرين.
بالعكس هالزبالة بتشيليهم.
هون محسوبية.
ما بينشالوا.
أخلاق وحسب شو يمكن ما تكون منيحة، إنه ليه بدي مثلا بعدين انتخبها؟
رحت انتخبت ماني خايفة، بس رأيي بيختلف عن رأي أهلي بالتعبير إنه رح رشح.
ليه بدنا ننتخب؟ كل النسوان اللي بتقول لك لا الا فرجينا على البطاقة الانتخابية تبعتها وشوفيها إذا
كل إنسان بينتخب كان نسوان أو رجال.
When you say Lebanese women constitute half the population, this applies very much to the voting.
The problem is not the actual voting process.
The problem is that few women run for the parliament and even fewer win. During the last election in 2009, only 4 women reached the parliament, and that was even less than in 2005 when 6 women won seats in parliament. With less than 5% of its parliament made up of women, Lebanon is 123rd out of 136 countries globally and 6 out of 22 Arab countries.
How do I explain this? You know, the woman is really intelligent, is bright, she can run an electoral campaign for a man. Why doesn't she personally run?
There are a lot of women, capable women, intellectually speaking and politically speaking, of course, able to fulfill the task of deputy and really representing the people.
Women have to stop being apathetic and think that they can only rely on men to do certain things. They have to campaign. They have to ask for equal access to money and to media space.
Lebanon is often considered the most progressive society in the Arab world.
Lebanon is a country with 17 sects, half the population being Christian and the other half being Muslim. We work with men in same rooms. We're not subdivided. When we go out to have lunch, either in groups which are mixed or you go with your boyfriend.
عدد النساء الخريجات بالجامعات عم يزداد. أعلى نسبة قضاة نساء بالعالم العربي موجودة بلبنان. صرنا نشوف نساء بمواقع جديدة غير تقليدية مثل الهندسة، الطب، المحاماة.
25 is the age that allows you to run for elections. I turned 25 last year, so I should have run this year. Maybe later.
بحب اترشح اذا كانت نفسيتي نظيفه ورح مشي البلد بالصوره النظيفه حتى ابرز البلد لبرا انه شو لبنان.
لا ما بنصح. ليه؟ لانه بدها قوه يعني، ولا بعرف المرأة انه حنونه عاطفيه يعني.
في عدد من النساء بيترشحوا وبيسحبوا ترشيحهم بالمهلة المحددة لصاحب الترشيحات، وهذا أيضاً بخلينا نشوف إنه في ضغوطات بيتعرضوا لها النساء.
One of the main pressures is religious sectarianism.
In regions that are purely from one religious background, we see that women are not accepted as political figures. In regions that are mixed religiously, there was more acceptance of a woman's role.
Another pressure is the patriarchal social structure.
I don't think there is any political party in Lebanon that is willing to have women in its leadership. In many cases, women have been kicked out of organizations before becoming too powerful in these organizations.
In addition, financial pressure pushes women to withdraw their candidacies.
Some candidates, especially heads of lists, can spend millions and millions of dollars, while some male and female candidates couldn't afford more than few $1,000s.
Even if independent women run for elections on a wide political platform that's quite progressive, etc., they are dealt with by the media, for instance, as women candidates.
We have the freedom to lobby, to advocate, to push for whatever we want. We have the constitution and the law actually protects us.
في لوائح عم بتكون لوائح اللي سموها محادل، يعني لوائح لأحزاب بتحالفات حزبية وهي اللي عم تطلع، فبالتالي ما في إمكانية لحدا مستقل إنه يخترق أي لائحة.
If you ask political parties why they don't have women candidates, they either avoid the issue by saying that there aren't any women in our party that want to run for elections, or they go back to a traditional view of women saying that the parliament is not for women, or that women cannot handle the pressure of elections.
بدها توصل النساء كقضية إلى البرلمان، بدنا نوصل كنساء بمشاكلنا الاجتماعية والاقتصادية والسياسية بما يكفل إلغاء التمييز القائم ضدنا، لحتى نخلي الحزب السياسي ونحل التحالفات السياسية للانتخابات تحط قضايا المرأة وتدرجها من ضمن أولويات قضاياها.
أنا ما بدي الرجال يعطيني حقي، بدي أنا آخد حقي.
In 1995, a 30% quota for women was recommended at the Fourth World Conference on Women in Beijing and is being implemented by many countries around the world. Comparing Lebanon to other Arab countries, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Jordan, and Iraq have quotas and more women in political positions. A 30% quota for women has been proposed to the Lebanese parliament. They rejected it twice.
It's something to set a norm. It's an initiative for women to participate and to teach society that women should be in political life.
It was only going to reserve seats on the candidates' lists. It wasn't going to reserve seats already for women.
احنا بنعتبر انه الكوتا والاصلاحات اللي كانت مطروحه انرفضت لانه النظام الطائفي السياسي بلبنان نظام متخلف، نظام مأزوم، نظام يعيق ايصال الشباب والنساء واصحاب الخبره لمراكز صنع القرار.
I hope that those who feel capable run, and I hope that those who believe in female representation start creating some kind of a fund to help candidates.
As an association, we've been calling for democracy for a very long time, and even before the Civil War. I mean, if you go straight to the independence, we've had elections since independence. There is a democratic culture. It needs perfecting. It needs work, but we're still a young country.
The women's quota was to be reintroduced to the Lebanese parliament again in 2013, but due to the instability in Lebanon and Syria, the 2013 election and the voting on the quota remain on hold.